Going on, guys? So today I wanted to dive into the 10K. The 10K is probably the most important filing that you're going to go through, and probably the most frequent filing that you're going to go through. I read these a lot. I think they're extremely valuable. They tell you all kinds of information about the company's products, about the market that the company is in, and you can gain a ton of insight by reading a company's 10K. And when making an investment, it's often a good idea to not only read the company that you are interested in, their 10K, but also read their competition's 10K and see how their target markets vary a little bit. I think it's really important to not only read the company you're looking to invest in or learn about, but also the competition a bit. So, the first thing I do when I pull up the 10K is immediately I always look at the date and I want to see what year this is for. And as we can see up here, it says December 2017. Second thing I do immediately is I check the shares outstanding, which we can see right here. As of February 23rd, 2018, there were 44,699,404 shares of common stock outstanding. Okay. Also, important note, when I'm researching a company, especially if I'm looking to invest in this company, I have a notebook out and I will jot down notes on the 10K. Anything that stands out to me, any red flags, any things I really like, I will write it down. Okay, and I suggest that you do it too. If you can't fill out a full paper, at least a front side of a piece of paper of notes on why you like or dislike a company, then maybe you shouldn't invest in that company. All right, so these are pretty straightforward. Basically, all you have to do is read the whole thing. It seems like a lot, but you could probably read one of these in like a couple minutes, and you'll learn so much about the company. I mean, sometimes some of them are really long, but you'll learn everything about the company's products. So right now, we would be reading over what Tandem has to offer us, what their target market is, their business. And you read through this stuff and you see what technologies they're coming out with or what they're going to be doing in the future, what they're focusing on right now. All of this stuff is in here and it's all really valuable information. Now you go into the market and you read all about the market, the target market that they're trying to capture. It's super important that you do this. And then, like I said, there's going to be charts. Some companies have, if you look at mining companies, they got all kinds of projections, charts, how much money they can make from a mining site, all kinds of stuff. They even go into the design of the pump. So this is really important stuff. I remember when I made my investment in Tandem, I even downloaded this app and I checked it out. I wanted to make sure that it functioned properly, that it didn't, if I opened it up, it didn't just close down immediately, that there was no issues in anything with the business. Okay, so this part's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna go down, like, you have to read this stuff. It's important. And you might not understand everything, so you're gonna have to, like, write down notes. Oh, look up what this is, or whatever. But let's go down a little bit further into, oh, and then you have the sales and marketing strategies, also useful information. Some key things to look for. Oh, competition. You want to read up on the competition. Definitely read up on government regulation. All this stuff is important. You have to read the entire thing, but sometimes people get tired and they like to skip over risk factors. One part you must read is the risk factors. This is very important section. Really key on small cap companies because they throw all kinds of nuggets in the risk factor section. Okay, so sometimes you'll see it'll be like Tandem probably has it because this company was dying at this point in time. I think this is before they got the cash that they needed. So, our ability to achieve profitability will depend on our part, blah, 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 whatever it may be. And now, sometimes the companies will say, we only have enough cash to last us 2 months. Well, that's a major red flag. Okay. If a company doesn't have cash, like I always say, the cash is the blood to your body. If you don't have blood flow, you're done. Same with the business. If business doesn't have cash, it is done. And then sometimes they'll have all kinds of good stuff in the risk factors. Like some companies, if they rely on one wholesaler or one person accounts for 85% of their revenues, those are red flags. And they will mention that usually in the risk factors. All right, now we'll go to the next section. And it will take time to read this, but it's really, really important. All right, now let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, market information. This will tell you about the stock price, uh, how many holders that they have. Obviously, they're not going to have any dividends. They're not a profitable company. And then you will get into the financial data. Now, this stuff is really important, and this is why I like the BAM SEC website, is because you could download this right into an Excel document and then play around with it. Okay, you need to understand how important the balance sheet is to the company's health, what the income statement looks like, and that is a little bit further down, but this is really good. So, this is really important information. When I was researching Tandem, I found that they were getting renewals from, I think it was this year, this 2013 year, they were expecting to have 60% renewal rate, and that was going to drive revenues in 2018. And I don't know if a lot of people picked up on it, but Tandem gave you a chart. They gave you all the numbers right here, and you could just plug it in yourself and basically see that they were likely to beat expectations, that the revenues were definitely going to increase. It was just a matter of how many new signups that they got. And that was really important information. And that was found in the 10K, and a lot of people probably overlooked it. Now, granted, there's probably all kinds of institutional investors that nailed it, but that stuff was out there for anyone to see. It was just a matter of, taking the time to read it, listen to the conference calls. Oh, loans. You want to learn about what their interest is that they have to pay, uh, cash flow break even, how they're going to get there. They need a gross margin of approximately 55%. All kinds of stuff that you will learn about the company and what they're doing to try to achieve those goals. It's very, very important. All right, and now we'll get into the like this section, liquidity and capital resources. This would be an important section that I would be reading. I might even read it 2 times to make sure I understand it fully. So it's just a matter of reading these things. If you read a 10K every single day, you will know so many companies so well. You'll have and you'll know if you see a company is down 30% on the month, you can say, oh, wow, what's going on there? I liked that company a couple months ago. It was just too expensive. Or I like the way that this business can develop. Maybe I'm going to buy some shares in it. Whatever it may be. Or, oh, that company was overvalued and they have a lot of issues. I would pull up OLED, but I'm not going to go through a bunch of these. But yeah, and then I don't think this financial, I don't think this 10K has the executive compensation, but that's something I would look into too. You have to go to a proxy statement for that. But yeah, like I said, guys, you have to read through these entirely. There's no shortcuts. Uh, this is a shortcut. If you want to sit and research a company, it'll take you years to figure out all this information when you could just get it right here and read it and take 20 minutes out of your day and have a full understanding of the business at this point in time. So yeah, that's basically it with the 10K. It's not groundbreaking stuff. This is another section that I would read, public offerings. You won't see this in every company, but a company that was financially distressed like Tandem, definitely take a look at this stuff. You want to make sure that there's no overhead dilution. I remember when I was researching Tandem, I was a little bit at unease because there was some overhead dilution, but when I plugged the numbers into my model, it didn't make a difference. The company was still undervalued significantly. So that's something to look out for. And we'll go over dilution down the road. It's a little bit more complicated than this stuff, but once you start reading a 10K, once you practice reading a 10K a couple times, you'll get comfortable with it and you'll fly through these things. Okay. What else is there? I don't know if taxes. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all. There's no shortcut. You have to read about it. This is would be important. If you skip over this, you're missing a big point because Dexcom, right? I would read about Dexcom and be like, okay, who is Dexcom? You go to, oh, Dexcom's a $10 billion company and they're investing in Tandem. Okay, that's a good deal. Um, all kinds of stuff. Oh, they're working with Tandem. Okay, good. Stuff like that that you find in these things are so crucial. Like I said, executive compensation, blah 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 blah. Another really important thing. You will probably very rarely see it happen, but make sure that the insiders sign the reports, whether it be a 10K, 10Q, whatever it is. I've seen it happen before where they didn't sign. Why wouldn't they sign? I don't know. I don't know, but that would be a red flag in my book. I would jot that down for sure. Why didn't they sign? And just to see if they sign, you can see signature, blah blah blah, signature, signature, signature. They all signed. If a company doesn't have all their you know, board of directors and insiders sign, well, that's a red flag. So those are a couple things to look for. There's not any groundbreaking information that I can give you. Basically, you have to read these entirely. Maybe you can skip over some sections, but for the most part, take notes, get the date, get the shares outstanding, take notes on information that you think could help the business succeed or hurt the business. All those things are very, very important, and every 10K is different. I'm going to read Barnes and Noble's 10K later, and I was just looking over it, and it looks rather short in my opinion. So I don't know what they have going on, but well, at least all their insiders signed it. But another thing is like if you find something, right? If I go, oh, Barnes and Noble, or maybe it's a company that you never heard of, and you go, oh, Florida, they have 39 stores. Maybe I'll go check one out and see how it's ran. And then you go, and maybe that's part of your research. And that's the things that you have to do. For Tandem, I reached out to Tandem users. I reached out to over 25 users of Tandem diabetes pumps, and I asked them what their experience was. It's part of the research that you have to put in and hopefully, in the end, if the numbers work out and your other research comes together nicely, you'll have a winner. And that's how you make good investments. Now, they're not all going to work the way you want them to, but it all starts here with the 10K. So, I hopefully this video helps. I may make one on the 10Q, but it's also very similar. You just do the same thing. So, I might skip over that and jump to the next SEC filing. So, if you guys like this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. Um, if you want to learn more about SEC filings, subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more videos about SEC filings, trading stocks, investing fundamental analysis, all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great day. I'm out of here. Peace.